Hello beautiful people! I am actually outside of Tokyo and in the countryside in Japan for the first time in forever. I've come to an area called Fujieda, which is in Shizuoka Prefecture. And it was really easy to get here. I got a Shinkansen from Tokyo all the way to Shizuoka and then got on a local train that took me to Fujieda in like 20 minutes. I stayed in the city last night and this morning I rented a car with my co-worker and now I'm in the countryside. I'm amongst it. Look at these beautiful autumn leaves. Also, I have been sponsored and brought here by Fujieda City, so thank you so much for bringing me out. I love these kind of trips and I'm really excited to check out everything and see what there is to do. So let me take you to our first spot. It's called Suisha Mura. I can see it right over there. Also, one thing to note while we're walking over to Suisha Mura is Shizuoka is really, really well known for green tea. I think it's the largest producer of green tea in Japan. And I feel like, you know, Kyoto right now, so many people, tourism, going crazy style over there. And one thing to do in Kyoto is to have your green tea and everything. But if you want to have a really good, traditional and peaceful green tea experience, come to Shizuoka. And here we go. Oh my gosh. I have to cross this bridge. Here we go. Oh, quiet. Am I really supposed to go this way? Ah! Quiet. Just worried about slipping. It is quite slippery. Look at the color of that water. I'm such a city girl now. Ah, konnichiwa. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. Behind me is Suisha Mura, and there's a beautiful old farmhouse here that's over 250 years old. During this experience, I'll get to chop some wood, cook some rice, catch some fish and clean them, and then have them salted and cook them all on a old style stove and an irori. It's like a big pit where there's coals in the middle and you cook stuff on it. I feel like living in Tokyo and in a lot of like modern society stuff, I feel very disconnected from the food that I eat. I don't really think too much about where it's come from. And I really love experiences like this because although it is a bit confronting, like having to catch and clean your own fish, I think it's good to be aware of what you're participating in and yeah, what goes into the food that you eat. Wow, すごい。250年ですかね。わー。
穴が開いて雨が降っちゃうので、虫を追い出すために煙でこういぶすので。あ、うまい。
わあ、できた。すごい。いただきましょう。はい。いただきます。It looks so good。めちゃくちゃ美味しそう。手でも大丈夫ですか？
あ、手で大丈夫です。
はい。
はい。
さっき話したちょっと旅行しましたね。アフリカ。
ああ、はい。
なぜフジエダ地元に戻りましたか？
なんか僕もしばらくちょっとこう地元を離れてた見たときに、まあ外から見たその地元の藤枝の魅力というか。まあこれ別に地元だけではなくてその海外に行ったことによってその日本の良さっていうのを改めて感じたので、だからまあ電気ガス水道がないところで2年間生活してたので、まあこうね余裕なわけですよ、ある意味。まあその経験を生かしてこういった形で皆さんに楽しんでもらうこともできますし、でも一番やっぱ僕は思ったのはその日本に生まれて育つともう何でもあるので困ることないじゃない、ほとんど不自由、生きる上で、逆に物がありすぎて何がその豊かさなのかとか幸せってどういう形してるのかとか見づらくなっちゃったんです。僕も会社員でずっと朝から晩まで働いて仕事のために生きてるというか、 でもなんか考えてみたらその幸せになるために人は生きてると思ってるんですけど、なんかそれは仕事はあくまで手段の一つじゃないですか。でそっちがメインになっちゃってる、家族ともっと過ごしたいのに仕事だからといって、で自分のやりたいこともこう蓋をしながら生きていくっていう、アフリカに行くと全然違う価値観で生きてる人たちがいるんですよ。確かに物はないんですよ、食べるもの困ってるしみたいな、腹空いたみたいなことも言うんですけど、でもそこに家族を大切にするなんかかけがえのない時間があったりとか、僕たち日本人が忘れかけてたものっていっぱい転がってて、そういうものを僕は持ち帰って日本に帰ってくるんです。
シンプルなライフなので、
そ
れの方がいいですね。家族のために、
そうなんですよ、
自分のために、
そうなんですよ、
命のために。
とても今日のねやっていただいたのもシンプルなんですよ。今日のランチを食べるための全てのエクスペリエンスじゃないですか。巻き割りして、ヤマメも。
そうですね。
食べるために生きるっていう、もう本当にドシンプルなんで、ちょっと現代人は忙しすぎると言いますか、それで見えなくなっていることがたくさんあるんじゃなかろうかなって。
考え方が好きです。
本当ですか。本当ですか。
ありがとうございました。And there we go. That was so much fun. The owner, so lovely, super kind. Loved having a chat with him at the end and loved his philosophy on life and what's important. I feel like getting out of the city is very necessary. Kind of ground yourself a little bit. Heading now to the next spot, which is going to be a beautiful garden. Hello, after a short drive, I have ended up at my next spot, which is called Gyokuro no Sato. So Gyokuro is actually the highest class of tea that you can get in Japan. So Sato means field, so Gyokuro no Sato is the highest form of tea field. However, Gyokuro no Sato itself is actually a michi no eki, which is a pit stop that you can stop at along the road when you're driving. They have a really beautiful restaurant here and lots of groceries and souvenirs that you can buy while you're visiting, but also they have a beautiful tea house out the back, which is what I'm here to see. But first of all, let's do a little exploring around and see what we can find, because I saw something super interesting over here. This right here is Fujieda Jibie dogu. So jibie means game meat. So here they have deer and wild boar. And so you can have a game meat dog. Ninki number one, most popular, is Gyokuro dorayaki. These are really cute. I'm not sure if you've seen them before, but it looks like cigarettes, right? But actually it's chabako, which is just tea. It's not cigarettes. But they've built it to look like a cigarette vending machine. So actually the Michi no Eki is part one. It's over there. If you walk across this bridge, we're gonna get to part two, which is where the tea house is. I got the location wrong earlier. But it's nice crossing over this giant river. The sun in my eyes. Okay, this is where we're going. Viewing the garden is free of charge. I love that. I love a free thing. Wow. Oh, this is beautiful. Hello. So Gyokuro no Sato is in the Asahina area, and it's right next to the Asahina River, which also is lined with beautiful cherry blossom trees. Asahina is one of the three major places in Japan that produce Gyokuro. The major places that produce Gyokuro is Uji in Kyoto, Yame or Yameshi in Fukuoka, and then Asahina in Shizuoka. So if you come to Gyokuro no Sato, the tea house behind me, they do tea ceremonies where you get to experience Gyokuro and get to enjoy tea in a very pure and traditional form. But also the garden is free. It is free to come in here. They have beautiful autumn leaves. They have a bunch of beautiful carp. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a walk around and then I'm gonna do a tea ceremony. Also, I've never had gyokuro before, but I was reading about it. People say it's like drinking a soup. It's gyokuro. This is a gyokuro field. That's where the shade goes. And here's gyokuro. Literally Gyokuro no Sato. Whoa!
いかがですか？
すごいです。普通のお茶は全然違いますね。
本当じゃない。
Wow! It's very savory. It's not bitter. いただきます。Okay, just finished at the tea ceremony. I've never done a tea ceremony like that. Usually it's a big bowl of matcha or some kind of cha, but never had a ceremony with Gyokuro before. The Gyokuro seriously tastes quite savory, and it has this kind of strong soup kind of vibe to it. It's all crazy that it's all the different teas are from the same leaf. I'm really happy that I got to experience Gyokuro for the first time. And now I'm gonna go find a tunnel.
Two lovers forbidden from one another. A war divides their people.
This spot is called Meiji Tunnel or Utsunoya Tunnel. It was opened in 1876 and it used to be made of wood, and then there was a fire that destroyed it, and now it's made out of brick, and it was restored in the Meiji period. It was the first tunnel in Japan that had a toll. And just so you know, parking's really easy. I'm just building it up because this place looks crazy. That's as far as I can go. It seriously looks like that scene from Spirited Away, where she's about to go through the tunnel. You can feel the air rushing through the tunnel. Ah! Oh! This tunnel was built to connect Shizuoka to Fujieda. Originally it was just made out of wood because this kind of path was along the Tokaido, which is a very well-known and popular route. It was the most popular route that people used to take along the coast of Japan back in the day. Of course, this path isn't really used anymore, but it is popular apparently for, like, you know, dates to come along. Some people said that this is kind of a romantic spot, but there's something about that tunnel that I'm just getting a little heebie-jeebie. It's just the wind coming out of it. Like, you know, you can see with my hair, there is just a constant steady breeze coming through. Also at the bottom, a bit further down from the car park, there is like an old town. So if you want to go and check that out, it looked like they had a few little shops and things to do. So yeah, cute little stuff to do in the area. But I feel like every time I turn the camera around, there's gonna be something like running at me. But I don't know if I can go down it. We don't have much time anyway. We have to go to the next spot. It's not an excuse. It's not like I don't want to go down that tunnel.
Secret tunnel through the mountains. Secret tunnel.
All right, the next spot for me is the Great Inn Kashibaya, which is a historical museum in the area. They're going to give me a little bit of a tour and show me around, but honestly, it looks really beautiful. They've done such a great job with the recreation. Let's go get a tour and check it out and learn a bit more about Fujieda.
This museum is a recreation of an inn that was on the Tokaido route in the Edo period. It was the most important route and it connected Tokyo and Kyoto along the coast. So this inn, the Great Inn Kashibaya, is in Okabejuku, and you can visit and experience what it would have been like for the many travellers that would stop here. You can enter the different rooms that were for samurai or common travellers and see what items they used.
Portable pillow.
Portable pillow.
先端が引っ込んだり出たり。
Wow.
And you can even try out one of the baths they used called goemon-buro, which was heated on an open flame underneath. So this piece of wood is actually very important for goemon-buro because it's so hot, you know, you're like Bugs Bunny in a boiling pot. It's made of metal, and so you're going to burn yourself, but if there's a piece of wood, there's something between you and the hot metal, and the wood is still a nice temperature. So very important piece of wood, so you don't burn your butt. They also have traditional Japanese wedding outfits that you can get your picture taken in.
So this is traditional marriage garment. I am not married, and I will be kneeling here by myself. But imagine there's a handsome hunk right next to me, and there we go. Love you so much. We have such a lovely life together, and I'm so happy we're getting married. Hopefully I don't give the thumbs up on my wedding day like I did just then. The sun is going down, it is getting dark, so I think it's time to head to where I'm going to be staying for tonight. Hello, I've arrived at the accommodation really late. I am very tired, so I'm going to say goodnight, and I'll introduce you to this place in the morning. Hello, good morning everybody. I want to tell you where I'm staying, but it's quite a long name, so I'm just going to read it. It's Bikkuishi Yama Shizuka na Yoru no Kyampujou. So Bikkuishi Mountain Quiet Night Campground. The campgrounds are really beautiful. You can have a tent, or also they have these cabins, which is what I'm staying in. It's really nice. It's like cute, but still spacious. There's an upstairs area if you need more futons for like other people in your family or people you're visiting with. There's a kitchen and a little barbecue place outside as well. I went to the supermarket last night and got a few simple ingredients to make a very simple breakfast. The cabins also have a rotemburo, which is a bath that's out on the deck. And it's nice. There's actually a really cute view of the river from the bath. I took a bath this morning and it was very refreshing. It's nice, especially with a cold breeze blowing. Also, look at this bread. Look how thick that bread is. I'm starting the day on the right note with some tea because we are going to be trying and tasting and looking at so many different teas today. Hopefully the caffeine is okay. I've just arrived at the first place on my green tea journey today, and it's a place called Marushichi Seicha. Now Marushichi Seicha also own a place called Nanaya, which I think is a bit more famous. We'll be checking that place out a little bit later today. Marushichi Seicha just came out with a new store, and they're selling a very luxurious type of green tea. I don't know too much about it, but I'm gonna go in and talk to the owner and see if I can find out more. So honestly, I've never seen bottles of tea like this before, and I know it is a very new concept. Each of these teas have different nuances and layers to the flavor. You can pair it with different kinds of cooking, just like wine, just like a red wine or a white wine. I've never seen tea quite like this.
アルコール全く入ってないです。もう基本お茶のみ。
Wow.
僕はお酒大好きなんで、
そうですね。
すっごくいろいろ楽しんできた方なんで、飲めない方にも同じように楽しんでいただきたいという思いで、お茶屋としてこういうのを工場を作って、商品を作ってお届けしている。一般に市販されているコンビニで売っているようなお茶っていうのは原料そのものがほとんどが秋に収穫されるような非常に安い原料なんですね。でここに使われているものはその原料の10倍とか数十倍のクオリティの原料を使っているんです。それからペットボトルって実は酸素を通すんですね。だからもう半年も経つと色は真っ黄色になっちゃって風味がだいぶ違うんですよ。でもこのガラスボトルは酸素を通しませんから非常にフレッシュな状態がそのまま味わえる。作りたての味がずっと楽しんでいただけるのがもう決定的に違うんです。
わあ、すごい香り。Really great smell.
で味わいは渋みやお茶独特なテクスチャーとかと旨味ですね。
うわあ、複雑。複雑。
ワインに例えるのはシャルドネのような。
そうですね。すごい。本当にびっくりしました。普通のお茶ではないですかね。本当に違いますね。
もう一つ。
あ、お願いします。色も違いますね。
そうですね。少しこちらの方が濃く。
香りも違いますね。
ちょっと先ほどのとは違ってちょっと赤ワイン風に少しリッチな感じと深蒸しならではのちょっととろみがあるんです。これはお お魚料理なんですけど、こちらは肉料理に合わせていただいて。
イメージはフランス料理のレストランで一緒に。There's so many different nuances and flavors, and especially if you can't have alcohol or alcohol is not really your thing, it's so nice to be able to have something sophisticated and beautiful along with the food that you're eating. I've never had a green tea experience like that. That was so awesome. Really great to meet the owner too. I also want to go to Nanaya, which is their other store that they have, which, you know, this is a very fancy experience, but Nanaya is more of a casual experience, and I want to try some crazy gelato. I just arrived at Nanaya. Nanaya is really cute. They sell a bunch of different sweets and different teas to buy, but also they are known for having the world's richest matcha gelato. You can buy a bunch of different levels of matcha in the gelato, but I'm here to try the world's strongest. Hope I can eat it, okay? I hope it's still good. So this is the weakest matcha level, it's number 1. And then it goes all the way up to the world's richest matcha gelato at number 7. Look at the color on that. Oh, I'm scared. Look at the color difference. This is number 1 and this is number 7. I'm gonna start with the number 1, of course. Apparently Häagen-Dazs, the ice cream brand, their richest matcha gelato is a level 1. Still, I would say quite a strong matcha flavor. It's nice, it's not too much. Easy to eat, delicious. All right, time for number 7. We don't even get to work our way up. We're just going right into the deep end. Look at the color in that. I'm scared. I don't even have a bottle of water in it with me. Okay. Itadakimasu. Whoa. Oh my gosh, that is strong. Whew. Every time I breathe out, my lungs are full of matcha. My mouth is full of matcha. Let me try it again. It's quite a big spoonful. Oh, it's still actually enjoyable. It's intense and it's an experience, but it's more about the matcha than it is about the ice cream. The other one, it's like, oh, ice cream and it's matcha flavored. This is like, you are having a matcha experience, and it happens to be in ice cream form, you know? Whew. My teeth are green. My tongue is green. It's not too bitter. It's still very smooth. It's a good flavor. It's just so intense. I'm getting beaten up. I'm getting beaten up by matcha. Oh, it's really good, but let me just palate cleanse with the number 1. My favorite tea is hojicha, so I'm going to get a box as a little present for myself. Omiyage for me.
The next activity on the list was to go on a tour around some tea fields and a factory with a group called T7. Now, T7 consists of 7 different tea companies that work with each other at different stages of the process. On the way to the tea fields, the path was so narrow and bumpy, but our guide knew the area so well she drove with a lot of confidence.
Here's all the tea. Okay, we just got to the top and the view is incredible. It's such a beautiful view, you can see forever, and also Fuji is out today, so I'm so happy to be able to see the tea fields and Mount Fuji together. It's just awesome. So now we're gonna get a tour around all the tea fields, and they're so beautiful.
Here is our tea field and located in Fujieda city, and from here you can see city area and mountain area of Fujieda city.
Unique experience.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing cushions.
寒いですね。罰ゲームみたいな。So this black tea is from this tea field.
Oh, it smells amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Wow. This is beautiful. I'm so lucky that we have Fuji out today as well. To drink tea in the mountains in Shizuoka is crazy. Crazy lucky experience.
Tea called kabuse.
The taste is so different.
Yeah.
It's so nice with the cold breeze.
We drove back down the mountain and went to visit Yagi-san's tea factory, where he finishes up the end of the process before the tea is sold. Actually, the factory was working a little differently to usual when we arrived, because recently they had received a crazy order for 9 tons of tea. So it was all hands on deck to process it all and get it shipped out. Yagi-san himself is actually a champion tea expert. There's a competition held in Japan where contestants have to be able to analyze tea and figure out the season that the tea was picked in and the variety that it is. And they even have to guess the origin of the tea just by looking at the leaves. Basically, he's a tea master, and he's even on the cover of some of the tea that they produce.
So here's where they separate it into different sizes for the leaves, and they have different kinds of mesh ranging in different sizes. But over here is where they sift into powder. But there is a machine that does both of those jobs, and that is that giant machine over there. But for that giant machine, it takes like 100 kilos. It can take a lot of green tea. Whereas if they're doing a small batch, they'll use these smaller machines. But for a large batch, which they're currently dealing with, they're using that big guy over there. They said usually all these machines will be operating, but because they have such a large order, they're only operating the essential ones. And it's like everyone's in here, all hands on deck, dealing with this giant tea order. Ooh. Ah. Usually, hojicha is labeled as roasted green tea, which it is, but actually all green tea is roasted. Just hojicha is roasted to the highest level. But I didn't know that because going through, they were roasting tea. I'm like, oh, is it hojicha? And they're like, no, it's we roast all of the teas. So now I know. I have learnt many things on this trip.
After a tour of the factory, we got to do a little bit of tea tasting.
I love hojicha. Hello, I have made it back to Fujieda Station. I have drunk so much tea, I think my heart is going to explode. Honestly, I've never drunk so much tea in my life, but also I've never tried so many different types of tea, different varieties, different ways of drinking it. It was just such a special experience. And yesterday was so amazing too. I'm so lucky that I got to come here and check everything out. Before I go, I wanted to thank once again the sponsors of this video, Fujieda City. Thank you so much for having me. I hope I can come back someday and enjoy it once again. Also, huge shout out to my Patreons. Thank you so much for supporting me. It's because of you guys that I get to do things like this. So thank you so much for the support. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, or hit subscribe if you want to see more videos like this or not like this. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Ja ne!